everyone, and welcome to a companion piece episode of Fallout. I made a mistake. Well, it's not even a mistake. I just played the blind playthrough experience and I missed something, but it has been brought to my attention that unfortunately I missed some juicy lore in this place. I was called a moron in doing so, but that's okay. I will take that chip on the shoulder as if I'm expected to understand everything in this game in a blind playthrough. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. If I miss something, I'm an idiot. If I figure something out, it's a fake blind playthrough. I can't win. But thank you for bringing it to my attention, to those of you who are kinder about it. I missed some lore in here, apparently. So I'm going to try and do some cool science stuff on these monitors because apparently I didn't get it right the first time. There should be some lore in these monitors that I missed, and I think it's probably these search logs. I think the reason why I missed out on this one is because I'm trying to think about it now. I think we did display security codes, right? And then there was no way out from there because we had to select a self-destruct and then that was it. In hindsight, I should have reloaded a save and searched the logs. I think I got caught up in the excitement and I didn't do that and add it to the episode. And I probably should have. But here they are. Here are our four. I can't even count today. Here are our four entries. We got some logs here. We got Maxon, which is one that I recognize. Let's have a look. Download log of Richard Gray. Yes. Unexpected end of line. Bad data encountered. Okay. Boyarski. Maxon. We'll download the log of Captain Maxon. And then Anderson. Unexpected end of line. There are 2 people missing. Now, the unfortunate part about missing something is sometimes people are really nice and they go, hey, you missed this thing. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's worth checking out. You should do that. And that's great. But then there are unfortunately situations where there are people that say, you missed this thing and this is exactly what it is. And so I'm just going to spoil it for you instead of nudging you to maybe go and check it out. So I am now aware that Richard Gray is the master. So that was pointed out, saying that I missed it. But we can at least now check out information about it. There we go. So we've got a Richard Gray audio diary and we have Captain Maxon's diary. So this is the information we've missed. Now this is an audio diary. Alas, we are going to voice it because it doesn't look like it's actually an audio diary at all. It's a good thing we have a transcript. So this is the history of how Richard Gray becomes the master. And Richard Gray is Harold's friend, that lovely ghoul that we met in the hub, which is cool. So he was telling us the story of the military base, and this is that same military base. So it's very satisfying to be able to get this. I do wish that we searched these logs before we checked the security codes. It's just an unfortunate occurrence because seeing those options of security codes, logs, and then set an alert to the base, my brain went, cool, set an alert to the base, we'll do that last. But then security codes is also linked to the alert. And I wasn't supposed to know that information before until I found out. So there you go. So Richard Gray audio diary. I'm dying. I need to get this down before the pain overwhelms me. I can't believe that I was finally able to drag myself out of that vat. The slime did not affect me, but I nearly drowned. I don't know what happened to Harold. He was standing right next to me when the crane knocked me into the vat. He must have been killed, or he would have tried to help me. Francine is dead, killed by one of those robots. I have no idea how much time has passed. I was able to hack the computer to turn off the robots and record this, but now my mind is slipping away. There is much pain. The green slime that I was immersed in is the source of all the mutations we trace through here. My skin is to fester and peel. In other areas it is bubbling and starting expelling a green mucus-like substance. Some days the pain is almost tolerable. I can actually walk a few steps again. It seems inconceivable that I dragged myself all the way up here from the vat room. Strangely, I'm actually feeling stronger, though I'm still in a lot of pain. Everything seems to be getting smaller. I think I consumed one of the mutated things scurrying around here today. Before I knew what was happening, some sort of tendril had sprang from my stomach and covered the poor creature. As soon as it had sucked the rodent into my gut, I could actually feel its mind, I think. There is a very real possibility that I'm going slowly insane and can no longer differentiate between what is real and what is a hallucination. Maybe I'm still slowly dying in the vat and I've imagined all this. Things are becoming more clear to me every day. This toxin has actually improved my mind. I feel that I can understand even the most complex philosophical questions simply and directly. It's as if all the layers of artifice have been stripped away. I wonder what would happen if I submerged an animal in the vats for a prolonged period of time. Would it gain awareness? The strangest thing is happening to the animals. They actually became smarter and more aware of their surroundings. I dipped a dog and a rat in at the same time today, and they were fused together. It's not quite two creatures anymore, but it's more than one. Perhaps this is the future. A coming together of different creatures is some sort of harmonious unity. I no longer consume the different animals I create simply for sustenance. I have become the instrument through which unity will be achieved. I am so much more than a human being now. It is time to bring others into the glory that is the unity. A lost soul has finally strayed into my home. I was so surprised I consumed him before dipping, a mistake I shall not make again. His mind was so primitive as to be repulsive to my refined cognitive abilities. I've begun to modify myself to be more pleasing to the unity by injecting small doses of the virus into my body. The slime in the vats is a man-made virus called the Forced Evolutionary Virus. This information was acquired from my newly grown Neuralink with the base computer. The few wanderers that have found their way here have been a disappointment to me. They can't seem to mutate correctly. The best I've been able to recreate are some big and dumb mutants. Most can recall nothing from before I initiated them into the wondrous unity. I only feed on them for fuel now. Their minds are nothing to me. Oh, glorious creator, I have succeeded in spreading the complete joy of unification to another soul. Unlike the others, his total radiation count was low. I believe this is the factor we have been overlooking all this time, as it seems the conversion is more successful in the cases with less radiation damage. I've never known such glory as I felt when taking his mind into our own. We are beginning to create an army dedicated to unifying the wonderful diversity of life. We have trained them to continue our work here while we search out more popular areas to take into ourselves. We are beginning to feel the limitations of a body that is mobile. We must find a permanent home with a greater store of knowledge and a steady supply of biomass. We have stopped increasing ourselves until we can find this new unification center. When we have arrived, we will continue to grow and feed until we have brought peace and unity to the entire world. That would have been so good to read in that episode, but it's cool to read now. It's cool. It is cool to read now and get that information about who the master actually is, to see that slow descent into madness that he just goes, huh, dog and rat go together? This is the future, bro. And then he just runs with that. He actually put a dog and a rat in a vat with a cat on a mat and then made them wear a hat, and it was just insane. And he said that that was perfect. And then we just came up to him and went, hey man, your mutants can't breed. And he's like, oh, I never checked that. Oops, time to blow myself up. Now we've got Captain Maxon's diary. Let's have a read of this for some more beautiful lore. The green light from the game is like shining underneath my beard. It's kind of funny. It's like eliminating my collar. It's just so green. October 10th, 2077. I, Roger Maxon, Captain serial number 072389, have started this log because it doesn't look good for any of us, and I'd like for people to know what really happened here. All hell broke loose when we finally discovered what those scientist bastards were up to. The colonel has locked himself in his office and seems to be having some sort of breakdown. The men are screaming for blood. They're looking to me for answers, and I'm not sure what to do. Someone has to do something, though, before this place sinks into an anarchistic bloodbath. October 12th. Every time we get a report from higher up, things get worse here. The war is going into a very bad direction, and this place is about to go into full mutiny. With all the chaos that entails, I stopped one of the men from executing a scientist today, and demanded that we interrogate them to find out what their orders were. October 13th. I killed a man today. I was interrogating Chief Scientist Anderson, and he was giving me the full details of their inhuman experiments. He said his orders came from the government, but I didn't buy it. He started screaming about how he was following orders, how he was a military man, and I just shot him. I tell myself it was to keep him from causing a full mutiny among the men, but I'm not so sure. October 15th. I tried again to speak to the colonel through the door, but he seems to have completely lost touch with reality. I broke down the door with several of the men just in time to watch him blow his head off. Right before he pulled the trigger, he said he was sorry. October 18th. By killing the egghead, I seem to have confirmed my position as leader of the men. They follow me without question now. The interrogations invariably end up being executions. Shelburne held out the longest, but the end result was the same. Her arguments about her orders were a bit too specific to be completely made up. I'm getting a real bad feeling in my gut about how this is all going to end up. I don't even lie to myself anymore about my reasons for executing the scientists. October 20th. I finally replied to the outside world over our radio. I don't know why they never sent anyone here to see what was happening when we stopped responding to their transmissions. It doesn't make any sense. Well, they'll come now. I declared ourselves seceded from the Union. They'll remember Jefferson Davis. What will history say about me? October 22nd. What the hell is going on? We declare ourselves to be in full desertion from the army and no longer under the government's command, and what happens? Nothing. Something bad is coming down. October 23rd. I can't believe those bastards finally did it. Damn them all to hell. They finally let the A-bombs fly. We were right in the middle of trying to pry the real story out of von Felden when we completely lost contact. I have a feeling the research center was hit hard. I don't know why. Just call it a gut feeling. It seems inconceivable that we were not targeted. I'm sure China will make up for that oversight real soon. Luckily, we had moved our families from outside into the facility the day before yesterday. We do not yet know if the fallout has reached this area. October 25th. Sergeant Plattner volunteered to go outside today to take the specific readings of the atmosphere. It seems the radiation has not spread this far. Since he was wearing his power armor, there was no threat to him from radiation. But if he had been exposed, he would have had to be exiled. We don't have adequate decontamination facilities here. October 26th. I convinced the men that we should bury the scientists. I don't know why. Perhaps it was to ease my conscience. I finally started to believe their stories when the last one was dying. My God, what have I become? October 27th. We're leaving this godforsaken place today. I'm leading the exodus to the old government bunker at Lost Hills. I'm leaving this log behind to be buried when this place goes in the next exchange. Who knows? Maybe someone will find it someday. Cool. So we got the Maxon history as well, and off they go, I guess, to discover that bunker that we have now known as the Brotherhood of Steel. It's cool to get pre-war information or stuff that was happening right up to the event. That was really awesome. I made this comment during the playthrough as well that I was actually expecting more of this kind of level of lore and detail from terminals, because I'm used to Fallout 3 and New Vegas and stuff having a lot of just like logs and things in the terminals that you could read. So it's cool to get stuff like this. It feels like a nice rare treat, and I really, really liked that. So thank you to those that pointed this one out to me kindly, that I missed this one, because we do know that I like to be as thorough as possible, but the struggle of a blind playthrough is there is balance. Sometimes sacrifices are made as I will miss stuff that I don't know is there, or mistakes will be made, like clicking the wrong option that lead to locking us out of other information. But if it can be helped, we can always go back and check it out. And luckily, I had a save that was right before we did anything in this room. So that's why it's always a good idea to save in multiple slots. Short and sweet little addendum video to the last episode 10 of the Fallout playthrough that just came out. Hope you enjoyed reading through some more history. It was great to have that connective tissue, and while I've already finished obviously the Fallout playthrough and episode 11 will be with you shortly, I hope you have enjoyed the playthrough so far, and I've had such a blast. A nuclear blast, in fact, with Fallout, and I can't wait to get more out of this game, and also Fallout 2 at a later date. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.